What if I told you the most iconic men's brand in history started with a $600 loan and a man's relentless ambition? Hugh Hefner wasn't just a publisher. He was a cultural disruptor who built an empire from nothing, reshaping entertainment and business forever. By the end of this video, you'll discover the shocking tactics Hefner used to turn a bedroom startup into a global phenomenon. But his rise wasn't without controversy. Stick around to uncover the cutthroat moves that cemented his empire. Hugh Hefner's journey began in Chicago in 1926. Born to conservative Methodist parents, young Hugh lived a relatively modest life. But even as a child, he showed signs of creative genius and an entrepreneurial spirit. While his peers focused on sports and academics, Hugh was busy creating comic books and selling handmade newspapers to neighbors. Yet, his family's strict moral code would clash with his ambitions in ways that would shape his future. But what sparked his rebellion against traditional values, and how did it lead to an empire that shocked the world? The answer lies in a heartbreak that changed everything. After serving in the army during World War II, Hefner returned to civilian life with a burning desire to make his mark. He pursued a psychology degree at the University of Illinois, where he also studied art and sociology, a unique combination that foreshadowed his future business acumen. During his college years, Hefner began experimenting with creative storytelling and editorial work. He published a student magazine that combined humor, cartoons, and commentary, revealing his knack for understanding what captivated an audience. This period also marked the beginning of Hefner's fascination with human sexuality, a theme he would later explore extensively in his career. After graduating, Hefner found work in the publishing industry, first at a Chicago department store as a copywriter and later at Esquire magazine. These early jobs exposed him to the inner workings of the publishing world, but they also fueled his frustrations. Hefner's ideas often clashed with his superiors, who were reluctant to take risks or embrace his vision for modern, edgy content. The tipping point came when Esquire refused to give him a $5 raise. Feeling undervalued and unfulfilled, Hefner made the bold decision to quit. This moment epitomized his fearless determination to forge his own path, even if it meant stepping into the unknown. In 1953, with just $600 borrowed from his mother and $8,000 raised from investors, Hugh Hefner took a daring leap into the unknown. The debut issue of Playboy magazine was a gamble, featuring Marilyn Monroe's now famous nude calendar photo. A bold choice that blended art and allure. Hefner's decision to purchase the image for $500 was risky, but it paid off spectacularly. The issue sold over 50,000 copies, far exceeding expectations, and signaled the arrival of a groundbreaking publication. Hefner envisioned Playboy as more than a magazine. It was a lifestyle brand that catered to the aspirations of modern men. Each issue was meticulously crafted, featuring provocative imagery, interviews with cultural icons, and articles that pushed societal boundaries. Hefner's genius lay in his ability to merge sophistication with sensuality, creating a product that appealed to both intellect and desire. Unlike other publications of the time, Playboy wasn't afraid to challenge social norms. It openly celebrated sexuality and individual freedom, reflecting Hefner's personal philosophy. His bold editorial choices attracted controversy, but also cemented Playboy as a symbol of rebellion and progressive thinking in post-war America. Hefner's magazine became a voice for the sexual revolution, advocating for ideas that were considered radical at the time, such as reproductive rights and LGBTQ acceptance. Hefner's innovative approach extended beyond the pages of his magazine. He understood the power of branding and leveraged it to create a unique identity for Playboy. The iconic rabbit logo, introduced early on, became synonymous with sophistication and allure, further distinguishing Playboy from competitors. However, success didn't come without challenges. The magazine's controversial content drew criticism from conservative groups and politicians, sparking debates about morality and decency. Despite the backlash, Hefner stood his ground, defending his vision and the freedom of expression that Playboy represented. But as the magazine's popularity soared, so did the competition and criticism. How did Hefner navigate these obstacles to solidify Playboy as a cultural icon in an ever-changing landscape? As Playboy grew in popularity, Hugh Hefner's ambitions expanded far beyond the pages of a magazine. Recognizing the brand's cultural power, Hefner sought to bring the Playboy lifestyle to life through exclusive Playboy clubs. Opening in cities like New York, Chicago, and Los Angeles, these clubs became the epitome of luxury and allure, offering members a chance to immerse themselves in the sophisticated world the magazine had cultivated. The clubs featured the now iconic Playboy bunnies, whose uniforms and poised demeanor further reinforced the brand's image. The clubs were an instant success, attracting celebrities, high-profile businessmen, and anyone eager to be part of the glamorous lifestyle. Memberships were highly sought after, and the exclusivity added an air of mystique to the experience. Hefner's vision of Playboy wasn't just about content, it was about creating an aspirational culture. Hefner didn't stop there. He ventured into television with Playboy's Penthouse, a late-night talk show that aired in the 1960s. The show brought the essence of the magazine to a broader audience, featuring interviews with intellectuals, artists, and entertainers. It was a groundbreaking format, blending casual sophistication with provocative conversations. Hefner himself hosted the show, further cementing his image as the face of the brand. By the 1970s, Hefner had turned Playboy into a full-fledged empire. He expanded into merchandise, licensing deals, and even real estate. The iconic Playboy mansion became a symbol of success, indulgence, and excess, hosting legendary parties that attracted the rich and famous from around the globe. These events not only solidified Playboy's place in pop culture, but also served as networking hubs for influential figures. However, as Hefner's empire grew, so did the challenges. The Playboy clubs faced criticism for their exclusivity and treatment of employees, sparking debates about gender roles and workplace ethics. Additionally, competitors began to emerge, attempting to replicate the allure of Playboy. Hefner had to innovate constantly to stay ahead, employing aggressive business tactics to maintain dominance. The expansion brought immense success, but it also exposed cracks in the foundation. Internal disputes, public scrutiny, and shifting cultural values threatened to derail the empire. How did Hefner adapt to the mounting pressure and safeguard his legacy? Hugh Hefner's public persona as the affable, silk-robed Playboy stood in stark contrast to his business tactics. Behind the scenes, Hefner was a relentless strategist who would go to great lengths to protect and expand his empire. One of his most infamous strategies was his aggressive defense of Playboy's intellectual property. Hefner's legal team pursued lawsuits against competitors who attempted to replicate the magazine's style, brand, or content. This aggressive stance sent a clear message. Playboy was untouchable. Hefner also played hardball when it came to negotiations. Whether it was securing lucrative advertising deals or licensing agreements, he leveraged the Playboy brand's immense cultural capital to demand top dollar. His business instincts were razor-sharp. He knew how to turn controversy into profit. When Playboy was criticized for its provocative content, Hefner leaned into the debates, framing the magazine as a defender of free speech and progressive values. This dual narrative not only silenced critics but also attracted a loyal audience who saw Playboy as a symbol of rebellion. Within his empire, Hefner maintained tight control over operations. His vision was law, and he expected his employees to adhere to his exacting standards. While this approach ensured consistency across the brand, it also led to tensions. Former employees have described a workplace culture that could be both exhilarating and unforgiving. Hefner's unwavering focus on the brand sometimes alienated those who felt their contributions were undervalued. Hefner's cutthroat nature extended to his competitors. As rival publications and brands emerged, he was quick to outmaneuver them, using his influence and resources to maintain dominance. This often included poaching talent, undercutting competitors in the marketplace, and leveraging his media platform to discredit rivals. However, Hefner's single-minded pursuit of success came at a cost. By the 1980s, the cultural landscape was shifting. The rise of feminism, the AIDS epidemic, and increasing scrutiny of media representation challenged Playboy's relevance. Hefner faced mounting criticism for the magazine's portrayal of women and its impact on societal norms. Yet, he refused to compromise on his vision, even as the world around him changed. As the 1980s cultural backlash grew stronger, the cracks in Hefner's empire widened. Could his unyielding approach sustain the brand, or would Playboy crumble under the weight of its controversies? By the 1970s, Playboy had become synonymous with luxury and freedom, but the brand's golden age began to fade in the following decades. The rise of feminism changing media consumption habits and new competitors challenged Playboy's dominance. Hefner fought to adapt, revamping the magazine and scaling back operations, but the world was evolving faster than he could. Despite these challenges, Hefner remained an icon until his death in 2017. His legacy is a complex tapestry of innovation, controversy, and cultural impact. For better or worse, Hugh Hefner redefined what it meant to be an entrepreneur. Hugh Hefner's journey from a modest Chicago upbringing to the head of a global empire is nothing short of extraordinary. His genius lay in understanding human desire and crafting a brand that resonated with millions. But his story also serves as a cautionary tale about ambition and the cost of success. So, was Hugh Hefner a visionary or a villain? The answer, like his legacy, is complicated. What's certain is that he left an indelible mark on the world, a mark that continues to spark debate and fascination to this day. Please like, share, and hit subscribe to learn about the next pioneer of profit.